Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be comparing two companies here, River and BitGo. The reason that I'm bringing this to your attention is because Bitcoin is on the rise in popularity, and more than ever, we need to figure out how to invest in it, how to put it into cold storage or hot storage, which I am learning. So there are different ways to do this, and I am also learning on this video as well. Let's talk about this and dive into both of these companies because I think it's important for us to learn it on long-term investing in Bitcoin. We're going to begin with River here. So as you all know, you can invest with Bitcoin in confidence. They have 0 reoccurring buys. They are US based. And what's interesting is that you can earn 3.75% Bitcoin interest on cash. As we scroll down here, we can see the unique ways that this company offers Bitcoin. And we can see exactly how it looks here as a preview. We can see it's the best in class wallet. We'll talk about that later. And then of course, that 3.75% interest on cash paid in Bitcoin, which is unique to this specific company, River. And I'm learning more about it. We will definitely do another video about this. Notice one thing here, that FDIC insured. That's nice to see that. There's no hidden fees. I love to see a company actually taking care of its customers. They also have a private client services and business accounts as well. And then they can explain to you exactly why to invest in Bitcoin, how it's performed against the S&P 500, and then protect your wealth from inflation. I like their website. It's very to the point. You actually have, human-based support. It's nice to see that. You can do cold storage, which is interesting. I have to learn more about that. But the point is that this specific company is unique in that you can actually generate yield on your Bitcoin. And that is something that I have only seen on this particular company. And there's another one. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But let's dive into how this actually works. As we were talking about, right? Want to learn about this interest because this is something that I have not seen before. So we can see it's 3.75% interest on cash paid in Bitcoin. Now notice everything that is listed here. It's FDCI insured in the United States. There's no hidden fees or minimums, and you can withdraw your cash at any time. That's so interesting for me. Here's an example, right? If you had $50,000, a 1-year return, that is what you would be having. If you had 50,000, that's what a 3-year return would be. If you had 50,000, that's what a 5-year return would be. And this is comparing it to other platforms. Here, look, Wells Fargo, we have Chase, and we have Bank of America. Of course, they're infamous for having terrible interest rate because they are big banks. Now, as we come down here, we can see exactly how to do this. And I like that they actually provide some information. You can add cash. Once you're enrolled, all your cash on River earns interest. Accrued interest is converted to Bitcoin daily and paid out monthly. You can grow your wealth. And of course, you can play around with what that would look like. And of course, we can also go 4 years and we can see 1 year. And for just hypothetical example, go ahead and put $100,000 in here and we can see exactly how much that would be. Or let's say we had $1 million, that's exactly how much we had. Or we had $10 million, that is what we would be earning in interest. Pretty substantial amount. And of course, they explain to you more things on how this works. And we can go ahead and just read about what this actually entails. So that is pretty much that because I have not seen any other company actually offering paid interest on Bitcoin. I like it. It's unique to River. Jump on back to the main page here and we'll talk about a few other things. Now that we are back on the main page, I like to see this clean website. It's nice to see they actually have the BTC price right up there. That's currently what it's trading as of this current recording of this video. We can come back down here and we can see exactly how it is. And we can also continue to read more about how this works. We can also see business accounts. We can see that it's trusted by over 3,000 American businesses. We can see the listed on there and we can see exactly how this works. We can see it's a pretty clean interface. I do not actually work with this company, so I'm tempted to open an account here very soon, but I wanted to bring you this information because I think it's interesting. I think it's worth your time. We can see that FDCI insured cash up to 250,000. We can see the cold storage, custody not built on third parties, which I think is important. We can see public financial and proof of their services and basically what they're doing. We can also see even a small YouTube video if you wanted to go ahead and watch that. And we can also see some of the other things about this company. And of course, they have their FAQ page, their disclosures at the very bottom. Now let's scroll to the very top and let's go on to the next website because the next website is interesting in the fact that it works in a similar way, but a bit different. Let's jump onto that site right now. My next company here is called BitGo. If you're unfamiliar with it, so am I. I did not know too much about this company until I started doing some research for this video, but just to kind of get you all caught up, this company is planning to IPO and there is a lot of news about this particular company, and we're going to dive into it right now. So what they are building is they are a digital asset infrastructure company, and here is basically the rundown. Here is the platform that they actually manage, right? The assets under management, 90 billion. We can see the wallets created, 9.3 million, which is impressive. And we're going to also talk about this #1 rating here in a little bit. And I'm still figuring out exactly how to operate this company's website because there's a lot of information to read, and you're going to see we're not going to be able to cover all of it. And again, we'll look at just the basics of this. So we can see they have wallet services, they have Prime services, they have an ecosystem, and they have a Go network. A lot to talk about. I'm not going to be able to hit everything in this video. Of course, we'll have to come back if you all want more detailed information, but I'm just running through this website quickly with you. But they are a good company from everything I am seeing. And of course, that is their rights at the very bottom. But let me talk to you about their products specifically here. So we can see that they have quite a bit of products to talk about. They have staking services, Bitcoin staking, they have restaking, right? They have token management, listings, delivery versus payment. I mean, a ton of things: trading, financing, wealth management, Bitcoin treasuries, crypto treasuries, custom wallets, self-custody, like I had mentioned, just a moment ago about hot wallets, cold wallet. Very interesting stuff here. But I think most important here is I want to actually go to Bitcoin staking, and we'll do that in just a second, but I just want to run you through so we can also see the solutions they have, everything they have, their resources, and of course the company. But let's go to the products because that's really what I want to talk about. So this Bitcoin staking is interesting to me because it's setting the standard for Bitcoin. And what I don't know too much about this company is basically about how all of this works and basically the fundamentals of it. I want to do more research on this, but as I'm learning this website and I'm sharing it with you all, you can notice that there are different versions of how we can stake this. We can do restaking, we can do Bitcoin staking, and there's 2 different versions. You can go ahead and read this if you want to learn more about it, but there's a lot of different ways to do this, and I'd love to see that this is actually coming to being. We can see the Bitcoin wallet features and benefits, a ton of different things to read here, and of course we can do self-custody wallets, which always recommend do your research on that. Don't buy any from Amazon. Make sure that you actually order from the company. Make sure you do your research on that. Overall, it's a very good website, and I love this company because it might IPO, so we'll see when that actually happens, but I think they offer a lot of unique products, and that's why I wanted to bring this to you. Now let's move on to the next option here. I want to talk about the Bitcoin treasuries. Here is the interesting part that I am still learning about and still wanting to know more about. So we can actually download the report. We're not going to do that in this video because it's too long to read, but we can kind of see the highlights. We can see what they're offering, right? The compliance, the insurance, the custody. It's most trusted, right, by the companies, right? We can see the US corporation cash, right, has continued to go up. Preserve your wealth. So it's a very interactive website. You can talk to them, you can contact them, and I like to see that this company is actually moving forward with actually legitimizing Bitcoin. Now, here's the other interesting part. They have a hot wallet. I haven't really learned too much about a hot wallet, but here it is. We can see, we can secure the gateway to DeFi, managing your operating capital. We can see self-custody hot wallets, basically how that works. And of course, we can see more details about this, and we can see the wallets created and more of this information. Again, like I said, there is so much happening on this website. It's impressive to see, and I like to see this. And of course, let's go to the cold storage because we all know that cold storage is the best way to self-custody your items. And of course, we can see this: control your own security. As we scroll down, we can see a couple more things, exactly how this works. The wallets are designed for your business, and we can see back down here to some of their highlights and some of the businesses that they are working. I really like to see this. So it's a good company. Recommend you check them out, and you can go ahead and look at everything they have to offer. There is so much about them. I really like this company, and I will leave links to this in the description below. As always, let me know if you have any more questions or want to take a deep dive into BitGo's website because there is a lot to talk about and I'm still learning about it. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I will see you all in the next video.